Welcome, seekers. Today's story is about a woman who single-handedly supports her entire family, only to discover that her husband has been secretly funding a luxurious life for his mistress and their two kids, while she struggles to keep a roof over her own children's heads. Now, trapped with no savings and everything in his name, she faces a heartbreaking dilemma: stay and suffer, or leave and lose everything. Enjoy the story. You know, I used to believe that marriage was about building a life together, about partnership, love, and shared responsibilities. I thought we were in this together. But now, looking back, I wonder if I was just deluding myself. Because the truth is, I was never really in a partnership. I was just the bank. For years, I've been the one holding everything together. The mortgage, paid by me. The car loan, paid by me. The bills, the children's education, groceries, family vacations, all on me. Every time I asked him to contribute, it was always the same excuses. I'm working on a business deal, babe. It'll pay off soon. I just need to reinvest right now. Trust me, in a couple of years, we'll be set for life. A couple of years turned into 7. 7 years of me carrying the financial weight of this family while he ran off on business trips, which, by the way, were always during the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, even our kids' birthdays. He was always conveniently off station. And like a fool, I believed him. I believed him because I wanted to. Because the alternative, the idea that my husband could be lying to me, could be using me, was something I just couldn't handle. Until one day, I did. I had nothing left. No savings, no security, just a pile of bills and a man who barely looked at me anymore. I was exhausted, drained, and desperate for answers. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I hired a private investigator. And that was the day my entire world shattered. You ever get hit so hard with reality that you feel like you might actually throw up? That's what it felt like when I saw the photos. My husband, the man who could never afford to take our kids on a simple trip, who complained about every penny I asked for, who made me feel like a burden for needing help, was on vacation. But not just any vacation. A high-class, luxury getaway with her, a woman I had never seen before, his mistress, and next to them, 2 little kids, his other children. I sat there, flipping through the photos in disbelief. They lived in a mansion, not just a house, a massive, high-end, gated residential mansion. And the car he was driving, a brand new luxury car. The same man who scoffed when I asked if we could upgrade our 10-year-old family van. The same man who made me feel guilty for wanting to take our kids to the theme park. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't struggling to support our family alone because we were broke. I was struggling because he was funding an entirely different life with someone else. He was living it up with his real family while I was killing myself trying to keep a roof over our kids' heads. I didn't confront him right away. I couldn't, because what the heck was I supposed to do? Everything was under his name. The house, the car, everything. If I left, where would I go? If I divorced him, would I be left with nothing? Our kids were still young, still dependent on me. I had no savings, no backup plan, no way out. I wanted to scream, to break things, to walk right up to him and demand answers, demand to know how he could do this to us, how he could look me in the eye every day and lie, but instead I just sat there because deep down I already knew what he would say. He wouldn't apologize. He wouldn't be ashamed. He'd just tell me it was my fault, that I should be grateful he even stuck around this long, that if I had just trusted him, if I had just been more patient, things would have worked out, that I was just too emotional, too sensitive, too demanding. And the worst part, I knew that if I confronted him, he'd find a way to make me feel like the bad guy. So I stayed silent. Like the fool I was, I stayed silent. But silence doesn't stop reality from slapping you in the face. Because a few weeks after I found out the truth, my husband came home and said something that made my blood run cold. He was leaving again for work, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't just nod and accept it. I asked him, flat out, where are you really going? And do you know what he did? He laughed, like my question was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. Then he rolled his eyes, patted my shoulder, and said, "You really need to stop being so paranoid." That's when I knew he wasn't even trying to hide it anymore, because he knew I wouldn't do anything about it, because I never had before. And that was the moment something inside me broke. So here I am, sitting in a house I pay for, raising kids I love, while my husband is out there playing family with another woman. I feel trapped, stupid, angry, and the worst part, I still don't know what to do. Do I confront him? Do I risk losing everything? What if he fights for the house in the divorce? What if I really do end up homeless? I hate myself for letting it get this far. I hate that I let him walk all over me for years. I hate that I was so scared of losing him that I let him ruin me instead. But most of all, I hate that even now, a part of me still hopes he'll choose me, even though I know he won't. I don't know what to do anymore. Well, seekers, what do you think? What would you do in such a situation? Please subscribe and leave us a like and a comment if you loved our story today. See you tomorrow for another story.